we will begin with number 6 on the practice final exam. We want to find f of negative 2 for the function that's given. Since this is a piecewise function, that means we've got different pieces given to us for this one function. The first thing we have to do is decide where this x fits in. Is negative 2 less than or equal to negative 1? Or is negative 2 greater than 1? Well, you know your number line. You know that negative 2 is less than or equal to 1. So that tells us to use the first part of our function. Once we decide which piece to use, we just plug in to that piece. And so we will get 7 plus 2 times negative 2, which gives us 7 minus 4, which gives us 3. Now, if you want to see another one, just for a little extra practice, say it told us to find f of 3. The first thing to do is decide where this x fits in. Is 3 less than or equal to 1? Or is 3 greater than 1? Well, 3 is greater than 1. So we know to use the second part of the function and plug in for x. Now, what is 3 cubed? Write it down and figure it out if that's what it takes. But we'll get 27. And 27 plus 1 gives us 28. Number 7, find and simplify the difference quotient for f of x equals negative 4x plus 3. First thing is we have to know the definition for the difference quotient. And it's f of x plus h minus f of x all over h. I've got a cord go into my microphone, and I think that's what's causing some of the issues with the screen. Sorry. All right, f of x plus h minus f of x over h, that went away for me, is what we need to use. First, we've got to work with this part. Now make it easy. If that told us to find f of 2, you would know to go plug 2 in for x and then evaluate. Well, x plus h is just like that too, okay? It just looks different. But we're going to take it and plug it in. And so we will get negative 4 times x plus h plus 3. And that's all just the first part. That's our f of x plus h. Minus f of x. Well, f of x is just the function itself, but the whole thing gets subtracted, so it needs to go in parentheses, and we will have to distribute that negative all over h. So we're distributing the negative 4, and we get negative 4x minus 4h plus 3. Distribute the negative, so we get plus 4x minus 3 all over h. Now look in the numerator. We can simplify. Negative 4x plus 4x subtracts out. 3 minus 3 subtracts out. And we're left with negative 4h over h. But now the h over h simplifies, and all we're left with is negative 4. Number 8 is another difference quotient problem. It will be a little harder because it's a quadratic. It's got that power 2. But we go through the same steps. We have to start with f of x plus h minus f of x all over h. Now, that x plus h, we take it just like we would plug in a 2 or 3 or whatever. We take that x plus h and plug it in. So we will get 2 plus 5 times x plus h squared. So that's our f of x plus h. minus f of x. Well, the whole function gets subtracted. So put it in parentheses, all over h. Now, what is x plus h squared? This part. Well, squaring something says multiply by itself. So if you need to write it down and look at it, do it. So in the top, we get 2 plus 5 times. Using FOIL, we get x squared plus xh plus xh, so plus 2xh, plus h squared. Now let's distribute this negative. So we get minus 2 minus 5x squared all over h. We've got a little more we can do up top. We can distribute this 5. So we have 2 plus 5x squared plus 10xh plus 5h squared. Just recopying the other. Minus 2 minus 5x squared over h. And now we can simplify some things in the top. 2 minus 2, 5x squared minus 5x squared, leaving us with 10xh plus 5h squared over h. We should notice that we have an h in common to every part. So let's factor out the h. And then those will divide out, leaving us with 10x plus 5h. And I'm going to stop this video here.